Hey guys, it's Reality Junkie 2, and I have everything you need to know about Season 48, Episode 2 of Survivor. Whether you missed the episode or you just need a quick rundown or a refresher, I've got everything you need to know step by step in 10 minutes or less, so let's get into it. Okay, we ended last episode where the green team went to tribal and they voted Stephanie off. So we come back this time and they immediately want to talk and everyone goes straight into planning. Say, of course, goes immediately into saying she doesn't like Mary and she wants her voted off. And already Mary and Say are showing signs of a rough start. And Say is ready to pounce on Mary, like ready to play. It goes over to Siva, the orange team, and they immediately show how well they're bonding and how they've all got humble traits. So they went over a couple of them. Charity talks about how her toes are so messed up. David, the buff guy, has 4 nipples. Mitch has a speech impediment. Chrissy has a super duper deep belly button. And Kyle has a callus that is actually a wart and he calls it a callus. So anyway, they are humbled and they are talking about it. It pans over to Loggy and they're all in the water and they're talking about how wonderful it was to win, and they automatically start talking about who and how they can go about, who they can set and how they can go about winning the next immunity challenge. And Eva mentions how about we not set out the stronger, more competitive people and set out someone who's not, and she suggests setting Star out. Pans over to Star and she is immediately pissed off and she is ready and looking for the idol already. She goes and she ends up stumbling upon the same beware advantage that everyone else is finding. Her and the emotional dad start talking and they realize that they need help. Joe, the emotional dad, decides to enlist Sahim, and Sahim starts to help. Sahim runs all over the island and realizes he is going too fast and can't keep up, so he needs to ask for more help. But then he also thinks, Say doesn't have a vote. Star doesn't have a vote, so he can potentially sabotage her. However, Sahim and Joe talk about it, and Joe's like, I don't really feel it. I'm not feeling it. It pans to Star talking with Thomas and Bianca, and she tries getting them involved. Bianca's super excited, and she's like, I just need to stay on her good side. And Thomas, the little player in him that I love, is like, automatically no vote. I think I feel a sabotage. Thomas and Sahim start talking about it and think, what happens if a puzzle piece disappears? Might be a great idea. And of course, emotional dad is not feeling it. Joe is like, not having it, that's not how we're going to play. Star's still mad about Eva telling people that she needed to set. So Star goes on a rampage and starts telling people that Eva needed to go. Joe, of course, has already bonded with Eva, sees her as his little daughter, and he's her protector, so he is not feeling that at all. It pans over to Green, and Cedric, Justin, and Kevin are all talking about what it would be like if they decided to get Say out instead. And everybody's into it, but I knew Cedric was going to come back and have a problem with it. In which he goes and, of course, tells Say to use her idol. It's time for another boat to come to the island, and they take Thomas, Mitch, and Mary. Thomas from purple, Mitch from orange, and Mary from green. Say, of course, is getting mad because she wasn't the one picked to go, and she gets an attitude, and it becomes the worst scenario ever. Talking about, if you guys knew I was right, you would have sent me. That's the worst scenario ever, to send Mary. I'm so over Say. I'm over Say, I'm over Star, I'm over a couple of them. I'm just not feeling it this year. Anyway, Mary, Mitch, and Thomas meet on the island for the advantage. They read the directions, and they each go their separate way, and they find a slide puzzle. Okay, so slide puzzles are super easy, and I looked at this, and within like 10 seconds, I was like, oh, duh, all you need to do is... And, of course, it takes him forever. Mitch finally nails it. He's the first one to get it done. He gets his. And then Thomas finally figures it out the last few seconds, and Mary fails. So, Thomas opens it, and he realizes that he gets the power to steal a vote. Mitch gets the secret block vote. So they all go back, and Mary goes back, and she's upset and tells everyone, she didn't get it. And, of course, Say's got her attitude, and you don't seem too upset. So over her. Mary says it's a death sentence, but she's doing what she can. Thomas goes back, and of course he lies, says he didn't get it. because he's a player and I'm not beefing with that. And then, of course, Mitch, the lovable guy, goes back and tells them that he won, tells them about their reward, about his reward, and everyone celebrates. It pans back to Siva, and everyone's looking for the idol now. Kyle's the one that ends up finding the beware advantage, and he immediately tells David because David's standing right there, who also decides to bring in Camilla, and that was probably the best idea ever. They bring Camilla in, and she solves the puzzle within seconds and gives them the information, and they run back. Day 5 comes, and everyone shows up for the next competition, which the winner gets a fishing equipment, and everyone got a first view of who was voted out, which was Stephanie last tribal. They break up and ready to break up into groups and ready to play, and of course they set Star out from Logie and Camilla from Siva. Pretty even competition. A couple little things that happened. Cedric and Kevin were struggling. They ended up blowing the whole thing and losing it for their team. Bianca and Thomas were trying to each hold a pole and maneuver a ball over a balance beam, and Bianca slipped and she just punked Thomas right in the face with that. Like, I literally thought the pole went right through his eyeball, but he was okay, just got a black eye and he went on. Siva, the orange, wins, and Logie takes second, so that means green goes right back to tribal. Say goes back, and immediately she starts back in on Mary. Cedric came back crying because he felt responsible, but he still wants to have conversations with everyone. So everyone starts crying, and they all start talking individually and in groups. Cedric and Kevin start talking, and Kevin's starting to feel himself, and he starts to tell Cedric not to worry, and then he also goes to Mary and tells her, don't worry though. So Cedric starts feeling himself and goes to Say and tells her that Mary's going to go home. Say then decides she doesn't like that and wants Kevin to go home instead. The word goes around and it comes back to Cedric and James, and that they want Kevin to go, so they decide, okay, yeah, that's a great time to get Kevin out. So they plot to get Kevin out. So then they get to tribal and automatically Say outs the rest of her group and says that it's all 4 of them except for Mary, which the guys were kind of like about, but it's alright, they won't hold it against her. Say starts getting mouthy, Mary finally shuts her up a little bit, and tribal continues. It's time to vote, and they all go voting. Mary doesn't have a vote, a couple of them don't have a vote, but that's the only one that they showed. Say got 1 vote, and Kevin got 2, so Kevin goes home. That's episode 2, guys. Tune in tomorrow or later today, and I will have episode 3 out for you. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments. If you like what I do, please like, share, and follow me on the YT too, because I have it over there, and I will be doing lives more detailed about the game. And most of all the reality shows I watch, I do put a full video about them in my YT, so please tune in. And I'm so sorry about all the stopping and going. I have had the flu, so my voice is out and I keep having to stop and cough, but it will get better, I promise. Have a good day, guys. Thanks.